Hi guys, I'm going to do an Ice Palace bomb jump tutorial. This is a fairly easy trick, but it's very important at the same time, and it's easy to mess up, and there's a lot of weird ways to mess it up, and so a lot of runners do mess it up and then wonder, why did I mess that up? I can get this all the time in practice, and it's very important. Plus, you do have limited bombs a lot of times, so it's kind of important to be able to do it on command. So I'm going to cover different ways to do it, and then why it usually goes wrong, why it can go wrong, and then some of the details too. I'm going to throw this in there. So basically, there's two ways to do this jump. There's actually two white pixels that work for this jump, and so there's different ways to do it based on how you want to do it. The fastest way to do this, the best way to do it, is just hold left out of the doorway until you're farthest left you can be. The first three x pixels that work are the farthest left before you would fall, which I call 0, and then there's 1 to the right, which is 1, and then 2 to the right, which is 2. So there's the 3 x pixels, and then there's 2 white pixels. Basically, it's the top of the room and then 1 under. When you walk left out of this doorway, when you load the room, and that is important, you're actually 1 pixel under the top pixel, so always. So that is important to know. It doesn't actually change the trick much, but it is important to know. So basically what I'm saying is I can move up a pixel. The 3 x pixels are the same, like the 0, 1, 2. They are the same, but and also where you would move, how far you move down. Where you would move down to is the same, but how far you move down is different, which creates a problem. So basically, what I'm going to do is move left out of the doorway, stop on the pixel, place the bomb, move on to the correct Y pixel, and then that's the trick. Basically, that's the entire trick. And the visual cue I think everyone should use here is this black bar right here. And your hat, your hat needs to, like the top of your hat needs to be 1 under that black bar. The reason this is good is because it's consistent. It's not based on the bomb. What I mean is the bomb shadow and the sword is not consistent. If you're 1 pixel high, for example, you walk out of the doorway, you walk into this room, you walk out of the doorway, you fall, and then you come back in the room and you're actually 1 pixel higher than you were the first time. So if you place the bomb and then use the bomb shadow, this does work if you're on the highest pixel, right? But let's say you don't fall next run, and you place the bomb and you go for the bomb shadow, and your sword is too. I messed up there, but your sword is too. You would have been too low anyway. The bomb shadow ends up being different, so. It's important to use the hat there. The hat works for regardless. You can be 1 pixel too high. You can just come out of the doorway. It does always work, which is nice. The reason I like using the hat is because I don't pull the sword out in my runs, and I don't have a sword. So for me, it's a lot easier to just look at the hat. I don't even have to look at the sword. So I would recommend using the sword. Also, that means that if you mess this trick up, for example, I'm too far down. I don't know. It's hard to check in the middle of a run of 1 bomb, so it's hard. I don't know if I'm too high or I'm 1 pixel low. So it's nice to use the hat, to 100% get this. I didn't know where I was, but because I was using the hat, it's guaranteed. So I guess the second, kind of the slower, but like, if you're really basic, you just want to get across. You're using these like a 150. You're using fairies. You have like 8 hearts. You have like 8 bombs. What I would recommend, the simplest way to do this is move left, pull your sword out, move up always. Just press up, and then try to move left onto one of these 3 x pixels. There's 3 x pixels that work. It's not super hard to find them. And then just place the bomb and try to get on this pixel. And there, I got it. And I made a save state too. But I got onto the pixel, so Again, I would recommend using the hat here and not the sword. Um, and that'll work always. And the great thing about this, and the reason I recommend this for newer players, is because if you fail to jump or you fall off, uh, and you do this method, it's 100% consistent. The method's 100% consistent anyway, but it can be confusing if you don't know exactly what you're doing, if you don't know all the pixels. So this is 100% consistent always. It is quite a bit slower. The first reason this is slower is because you get blasted like to the left right here. If you're on the top pixel, the top Y pixel, you get blasted to the right, which you not only have to walk over, but yeah, you can't hammer dash. So it's quite a bit slower. I can actually reload the room right here. If you just walk out of the room and press left and then press Y and you get blasted, you're on the left pixel always, and so you can immediately hammer dash. So it's only like 20 or 30 frames quicker, but it is quicker. It's also I think it's easier once you get better at it. So it is worth it looking into. Another important small detail to notice is that if you just walk left out of the doorway, so you're on the lower Y pixel, and you turn around, and you press Y and place the bomb, it actually doesn't matter your orientation, the direction Link is facing. Like, notice Link is facing up in this demonstration. If you're in the lower Y pixel, it doesn't matter what direction he's facing. So I like facing down, so I can just immediately hammer dash. If you move up to that top pixel, it actually does matter which direction you're facing, which is why I would recommend using the sword. You have to be facing left or right. I think there's one case where you can be facing down, but don't risk it. You have to be facing left or right pretty much. So if I'm facing down, what happens is you actually get blasted down to this pod. I'll demonstrate. Okay, well, not there, but I will demonstrate it. So again, I'm moving to the top pixel. I failed it, so I'm on the top pixel. So look at the hat. I should be on the right pixel, and I am on the right pixel because I failed to jump and then moved up a pixel. Now when I play this, likely I'm going to not even go to cross, and you'll see it right here. Yeah, I got kind of blasted in that corner, and that again, it's something you want to prevent. So I would use the sword for that option. Also, the last thing to note, there is a fourth pixel if you hold left out of the door, which is another reason I like holding just hard to holding left. If you're farthest left you can be, if you're the farthest left, you're on the 0 pixel, and you're on the bottom Y pixel, which is just holding left out of the doorway, and you place the bomb, there's actually 2 pixels that work. If you notice right here, I'm 2 pixels under this black bar. My hat's not even touching it. This still works for this setup, which is really cool. And again, the orientation doesn't matter, so it's a little bit more lenient. You have to recognize you're on the farthest left pixel, and then you're not always going to get on this bottom pixel, but it helps. The reason I think this is important to know, though, is because you move down 1 pixel and you move up 2 pixels in 1 frame. So if you do what I do and you try to manually move up and down, using either dash buffers or menu buffers, the other reason I like doing this method is because you can buffer with the menu. It's important to know that. So if I'm I can't move up 1 pixel. The trick is I can't move up 1 pixel right now. I can only move up 2 pixels. So if I'm on this pixel, trying to readjust to get on that pixel that's 1 pixel higher might be kind of hard. But I recognize I'm farthest left. I can be. Oh, I'm 2 pixels under. Okay, I'm good. And then you can get an easy ice polish bomb jump. So that's kind of the basics to the jump. There are tons of methods to buffer the way onto the pixel. You can hammer buffer with the sword out, like do this. I find it kind of difficult. It's not super hard, but it's definitely not a beginner strategy, and it's not necessary in any method. You can use dash buffers, which is just A and down on the same frame, or A and up on the same frame, which is 2 and 1, which I do like doing that. It's not necessary. You can use pause buffers, which kind of is the same as dash buffers, just 1 down and 2 up. But every time you pause buffer, it's a second, and you have like 5 seconds to get on the pixel anyway. So I don't think it's necessary. The reason the sword's nice is because you move slower with the sword, so it's like can be easier. I think it's still 2 down, up, 1 down. But anyway, those are some of the basics. That's some of the basics. There's actually about everything about this trick. Um, Anyway, thanks for watching my tutorial, and I hope everyone is slightly more successful. It's still I still mess this trick up. It's still hard, but anyway, have a great day.